Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of Ignition Time. I hope everyone is getting ready for a very happy, healthy, and wonderful holiday season ahead. Merry Christmas to all the viewers of Ignition Time. And if you're not a member of our community yet, please consider clicking like, please consider clicking subscribe, and enabling notifications. I want everyone to be happy, healthy, and safe out there. First, let's explore the elephant in the room: Joe Manchin's sabotage of the Build Back Better plan. I have done a detailed video about this on our channel, but in some newly released audio, Joe Manchin said, well, guess what? I'm from West Virginia. I'm not from where they're from. And he's referring to the other Democrats. And he says they can just beat the living crap out of people in those areas and think they'll be submissive. Pretty incredible, folks. Let's check out this audio featuring Joe Manchin blaming the White House staff for the breakdown of the Build Back Better talk. Let's roll the tape and hear Joe Manchin blaming the White House staff for the breakdown of the Build Back Better plans. Let's watch.
I'm not blaming anybody. I knew where they were, and I knew what they could and could not do. They just never realized it because they figured, surely to God we can move one person. Surely we can badger and beat one person up. Surely we can get enough protesters to make that person uncomfortable enough. They'll just say, okay, I'll vote for anything. Just quit. Well, guess what? I'm from West Virginia. I'm not from where they're from, and they can just beat the living crap out of people and think they'll be submissive.
So, folks, that was Joe Manchin from West Virginia. Now, President Biden had a forceful defense of the Build Back Better plan in response to concerns from Joe Manchin. This is what President Biden said. Let's roll the tape and watch President Biden's forceful response in support of the Build Back Better plan. Let's watch.
You strip away all the dignity of a parent looking at their child. I'm not joking about this. Imagine being a parent, looking at a child, and you can't afford. You have no house to borrow against. You have no savings. It's wrong. But all the things in that bill are going to reduce prices and cost for middle class and working class people. It's going to reduce their cost. What's inflation? Having to pay more than the money you have because things have gone up. Well, bring down all those costs across the board, from child care to a child care tax credit.
And folks, in the meantime, Fox News' Jesse Waters essentially said that Dr. Fauci should be ambushed with the kill shot. Pretty shocking statements. And Dr. Anthony Fauci said that Fox News' Jesse Waters should be fired on the spot for telling a crowd to ambush Dr. Fauci with the kill shot. And Dr. Fauci also said this: he's going to go very likely unaccountable. I mean, whatever network he's on is not going to do anything for him. Let's roll the tape and hear Dr. Fauci speaking about this horrific comment from Fox News host Jesse Waters. Let's watch.
Well, John, that's horrible. I mean, that just is such a reflection of the craziness that goes on in society. The only thing that I have ever done throughout these 2 years is to encourage people to practice good public health practices, to get vaccinated, to be careful in public settings, to wear a mask. And for that, you have some guy out there saying that people should be giving me a kill shot to ambush me. I mean, what kind of craziness is there in society these days? That's awful that he said that. And he's going to go very likely unaccountable. I mean, whatever network he's on is not going to do anything for him. I mean, that's crazy. The guy should be fired on the spot.
In the meantime, folks, here's President Biden urging parents to vaccinate their children against COVID. President Biden said this: please get them vaccinated. 6 million children in our country aged 5 to 11 are vaccinated. Let's roll the tape and hear what President Biden had to say.
I also want to say a word to parents. If your children are not vaccinated, please get them vaccinated. If you're a parent, understandably, who waited to see how the first shots went with other kids before getting your own kid vaccinated, you can stop waiting. 6 million children in our country, ages 5 to 11, are vaccinated.
Here's another comment from President Biden that's very important. He tells unvaccinated Americans, I honest to God believe it's your patriotic duty to get vaccinated against COVID. He said it's free, it's convenient, I promise you it saves lives. Let's roll the tape and hear President Biden.
You have an obligation to yourselves, to your families, and quite frankly, I know I get criticized for this, to your country. Get vaccinated now. It's free. It's convenient. I promise you, it saves lives. And I honest to God believe it's your patriotic duty.
In another segment, President Biden comments on the now dominant Omicron variant. If you're not fully vaccinated, you have good reason to be concerned. Almost everyone who has died from COVID-19 in the past many months has been unvaccinated. Let's roll the tape and hear President Biden.
How concerned should you be about Omicron, which is now the dominant variant in this country, and it happened so quickly? The answer is straightforward. If you're not fully vaccinated, you have good reason to be concerned. You're at a high risk of getting sick. And if you get sick, you're likely to spread it to others, including friends and family. The unvaccinated have a significantly higher risk of ending up in a hospital or even dying. Almost everyone who has died from COVID-19 in the past many months has been unvaccinated. Unvaccinated.
Here's another important comment from President Biden about the holiday celebrations amidst the Omicron surge. President Biden said this: if you and those you celebrate with are vaccinated, particularly if you've gotten your booster shot, you should feel comfortable celebrating Christmas and the holidays as you planned it. Let's roll the tape and hear President Biden.
No, some Americans are wondering if you can safely celebrate the holidays with your family and friends. The answer is yes, you can. If you and those you celebrate with are vaccinated, particularly if you've gotten your booster shot. If you are vaccinated and follow the precautions that we all know well, you should feel comfortable celebrating Christmas and the holidays as you planned it.
Another comment from President Biden, who calls out dangerous misinformation on COVID from cable TV and social media. You know which news station I'm talking about. I'm talking about the one and only Fox News. President Biden said this: these companies and personalities are making money by peddling lies and allowing misinformation that can kill their own customers and their own supporters. Stop it. Stop it now. Let's roll the tape and hear what President Biden had to say.
Look, the unvaccinated are responsible for their own choices. But those choices have been fueled by dangerous misinformation on cable TV and social media. You know, these companies and personalities are making money by peddling lies and allowing misinformation that can kill their own customers and their own supporters. It's wrong. It's immoral. I call on the purveyors of these lies and misinformation to stop it. Stop it now.
And President Biden also talked about his federal COVID vaccine requirements. He called them legal and effective. He said this: I know vaccine requirements are unpopular. My administration has put them in place not to control your life, but to save your life and the lives of others. Let's roll the tape and hear President Biden.
I know vaccination requirements are unpopular for many, and not even popular for those who are anxious to get them. My administration has put them in place not to control your life, but to save your life and the lives of others. Over 400,000 Americans died from COVID this calendar year, and almost all were unvaccinated. Almost all were preventable. The rule is legal and effective, and it's going to save thousands of American lives.
Another comment from President Biden. He was asked, what's your message to Americans who are trying to get tested now and who are wondering what took so long to ramp up testing? President Biden said, come on, what took so long? What took so long is it didn't take long at all. Let's roll the tape and hear what President Biden had to say about this.
Mr. President, what's your message to Americans who are trying to get tested now and who are not able to get tested and who are wondering what took so long to ramp up testing?
Come on, what took so long?
I'm hearing that from people who are trying to get tested now before the holidays.
Well, what took so long is it didn't take long at all. What happened was the Omicron virus spread even more rapidly than anybody thought. If I had told you 4 weeks ago that this would spread by a day-to-day basis, it would spread by 50, 100%, 200%, 500%. I think you would have looked at me and said, Biden, what are you drinking? But that's what it did. Now, we don't know what's going to happen from here. It looks there's some evidence that in South Africa, where a lot of this started, that it's dropping off quickly, too. We don't know.
And finally, folks, I want to end this episode of Ignition Time with this video featuring Jen Psaki, the White House press secretary. 2 weeks ago, she was asked about a COVID test for every American, and she seemed to mock that idea. What should we do? Send a COVID test to every American for free? And 2 weeks later, President Biden announces $500 million, that's 500 million free COVID tests for Americans. Let's roll the tape and check out this turnaround from the Biden administration. Let's watch.
Why not just make them free and give them out and have them available everywhere?
Should we just send one to every American?
2 weeks later.
So I'm announcing today the federal government will purchase $500 million, that's not million, billion with a B, additional at-home rapid tests with delivery starting in January. We'll be getting these tests to Americans for free. And we'll have websites where you can get them delivered to your home.
That's it, everyone. This is the evolution of the response from the administration to the rapidly evolving situation around us. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Ignition Time. Please click like, please click subscribe, please enable notifications. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time. Once again, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye.